future is now. 2020 is going well. And how are we all enjoying our utopian, enlightened, technologically advanced super society? We've cooperated enough to abolish war, disease, hunger, poverty, violence, capitalism, election fraud, crime, prejudice, pollution, homophobia, transphobia, misogyny, racism, and ableism. All our world leaders are wise and just. All our law enforcement are fair and patient. Climate change has been reversed. Distribution of food, medicine, housing, and other vital resources are equally available to everybody. Everyone is happy and productively working towards their own personal goals. Wait, what? We haven't achieved all these wonderful accomplishments? We are in fact not only not achieving our utopia, but struggling through triple global crises of racism, plague, and economic disaster. Well, how did all this shit happen? Of all the problematic people in the world, I can pinpoint at least one glowing, bright orange problem. The current US president, Trump, who consistently worries more about appearances than the real consequences of his actions and policies. And sheeple Trump supporters are trapped in a cult of celebrity, believing his lies and ignoring social distancing during a pandemic, putting themselves in danger. And if they weren't endangering the lives of other people around them, I might be tempted to say, let the stupid die off. But I know it wasn't all of the US who voted for this monkey clown. And it was a number of factors that allowed this reality TV buffoon to become president of one of the most powerful countries in the entire world. What's done is done. But for the love of all that's unholy, can we please just learn from the lessons of the past for the sake of the rest of the planet? The world is laughing at America, but it's mostly at Trump, or at least it was, until it stopped being funny. These people want the coronavirus crisis to be over so desperately that they're using the only tactic that they've got: denial. People are literally killing themselves and others because of some vague notion of so-called freedom. The freedom to go to a COVID party is not freedom. The freedom to infect others and the freedom to oppress other people of color and LGBT people isn't freedom. It's fascism. When America so much as sneezes, the rest of the world covers its face. And for the past 4 years, we've been collectively recoiled in horror, unable to take our gaze off the train wreck that is the destruction of everything the US used to stand for, or at least nominally. And look, I don't mean to come off as preachy, or tell you how to run your own country. You know, the UK has enough of its own problems right now. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Small businesses closing, massive unemployment, and a laissez-faire attitude towards safety during a viral pandemic. And I almost forgot the systemic racism, which is pretty much the experience of most people in the UK, being overlooked. It's like we're striving to copy the worst aspects of American life. Don't get it twisted, I enjoyed the movie Idiocracy. I just assumed we'd have another century at least before everyone started drinking the Brawndo. Look, I know my message here is not going to appeal to the too far gones on the right wing, and to be honest, this video is not for them. Despite all of this, some people on the left are angry that others are reluctant to vote for Trump's presidential rival, Joe Biden. I present to you the examples David Pakman and Kyle Kulinski. Oh yeah, this is a politics video. Have some Benjamin. Two leftist political commentators, both alike in dignity, in fair YouTube, where we lay our scene. Pakman believes that the best strategy is to vote for Biden as the lesser of two evils, and he isn't exactly 100% wrong that Biden is better than Trump. To be fair, a rancid jar of mayonnaise would be better president than Trump. At least it wouldn't be actively making racist policy. I'd call Trump a cunt, but he lacks both the depth and the warmth. Look, let's not kid ourselves though. A vote for Biden is a vote for the return to the status quo, the way things were in the past under Obama, which included drone strikes, containment camps, undrinkable water, poor infrastructure, a lack of access to healthcare for everyone, and a prison system that functionally recreates slavery. Look, both camps on the left hate Trump, but the Kulinski camp wants something better than a corporate centrist Democrat, and sharing their hatred of Trump just isn't enough to unify the camps behind Biden. The problem is, Biden hasn't earned the votes of a lot of leftists, and he isn't entitled to them just by virtue of being not Trump. Pakman sees those unwilling to ride for Biden as accelerationists, rooting for our society to unravel to the point of an inevitable uprising. An uprising which may correct many of our social ills, but if left unchecked, could lead to rioting in the streets. Wait, what? The problem with that argument is the American people don't need to endure another 4 years of Trump to look out their windows and see the world literally crumbling around them. People are already rising up, taking action, and making their unheard voices heard. These protests aren't just about institutionalized racism. That was just the spark to fuel the civil unrest. But it's been mounting for decades. How else would Trump have won the election in 2016 under the slogan, "Make America Great Again," if the discontent wasn't already present? Look, I understand David Pakman's position on choosing the lesser of two evils, but as Kyle Kulinski points out, we've already seen what happens when you run a corporate centrist career Democrat type against Trump. This bothers me, because as a UK citizen, this choice isn't mine to make. But we still all feel the effects of the outcome by virtue of being citizens of the planet Earth. This stuff has ripple effects that do impact us all. Not that I know what decision I would make in this situation. I'm concerned about the state of the future for the USA because it's now imploding at a rate visible to the naked eye. Small cracks that once went unnoticed are now gaping chasms threatening to swallow you all. And in this environment, the reason some leftists don't want to vote for Trump or Biden is that they're both emblematic of the systemic corruption that runs deeper than just one election. And there are no choices that truly reflect popular leftist values. I understand the need for tactical voting. In the last general election here in the UK, I engaged in that myself. I have a video talking about it. I will link that below. And yes, I voted against the candidate that I thought was the most suitable, because in this country it doesn't really work like that. As much as I would have liked to vote Labour and Jeremy Corbyn into the premiership, you don't vote for that. You vote for the Member of Parliament in your own constituency, and the one who had the most chance of unseating the Conservative was the Liberal Democrat candidate. And yeah, okay, it failed, but the numbers show that they were the closest. Just to be clear, I am still very much a Corbyn fan. I will gratify him the only way I know how, to show my support and yes, I will suck his socialist penis. And we can't talk about this topic without mentioning Saint Senator Bernie Sanders, who is the most popular politician in the United States. He raised the most money from small dollar donations, and Bernie succeeds at something that Trump does far better than Biden, which is energize the base. His popularity far outweighs that of Trump, because his policies are sensible, necessary, and demonstrably populist. This is why it was a mistake for the mainstream Democrats to bash Bernie so much, especially the ones in the media, and instead prop up their corporate party centrists. It's like they're all still living in 1996. And this leaves the choice in the election between two candidates that are both out of touch with large segments of the population. Look, you can never please everyone, but it could be better. They're both doing the bidding of Wall Street and corporate lobbyists. Both have shady histories of sexual misconduct allegations. Both show signs of limited competence. What the fuck kind of choice is that? Like, especially for leftists, whose values aren't actually represented at all. Look, maybe achieving our utopia will demand more from us than just ticking a ballot. How are we all enjoying our utopian, enlightened, technologically advanced shit. I knew I couldn't get through that. How are we all enjoying bollocks. There's some fucking roadworks going on as well. All our world leaders are fire. Oh, fuck. We are, in fact, not only not. Oh, shit. Well, how did this all happen? Fucking roadworks. Stop drilling, stop drilling, stop drilling. consequences of his actions or his policies. Fucking hell. Why? Look, don't get it twisted. I enjoyed the movie Idiocracy, but I thought we'd have another don't get it twisted. I enjoyed the movie. I can't do this. Don't get it twisted. Shit. This is not going to go well. See it now. Which, you know, may, and I shall, at some point, gratify him orally